Man, how we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Yes. What is going on, man? What is happening? What's up with the Johnsons out there? Man, I'm trying to tell you. I really am. I'm trying to tell you what's going on. Oh, let me get the phone number off the screen. Me and this phone number. What's up, everybody? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. I want to say hello to my people on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Yes. Got the lights. The lights okay? Yeah, okay. How y'all doing, man? Guys okay? Is the Wolfpack okay? Can I give a resounding hello, what's up, to all my Tim Black members, all the Wolfpack members out there, holding it down on Patreon and YouTube. You guys, look, if you're on Facebook, thank you if you support this show. If you're on YouTube, thank you if you support this show. Same things for, look guys, same thing on Patreon, everybody who supports this show. Thank you for what you do. This doesn't get done without you. And all my people in the green, all my people in green on YouTube, all my Wolfpack members, give it up for them. My Wolfpack. If you feel the error, and look, if you get a moment, you want to say something, do a super chat, hit me up. I'll read your comment and read your name out loud. And I'm glad you're here. I welcome you. You my people. You my people. You my people. You my people. Now, if you're new to the show, let me let you know that on Tuesdays and Fridays, I open up phone lines. And people call into the show. And wow, we have a good time doing that because people all over the world, frankly, call into the Tim Black Show and they say what they think about news. And I'll tell you also, we're independent, so we look at things, we try to look at things from a neutral position and say, okay, how does this help my life? Are they blowing smoke up my ass, or are they really trying to help us? Or is it just some performative nonsense? Is this just people playing the game or whatever? And we try to decipher. Is this going to help the babies? Is this going to help the poor? Who is this helping? So that's what we try to look at everything from that point of view and say, is this going to get us justice or not? All right, so that's what's up now. I got a couple of stories that hit my, I'm looking at Twitter, I'm looking at Google, I'm looking at YouTube and saying, okay, what's good to bring up tonight that people may not have been able to watch or pay attention to based on their schedules? I had a call on Friday. One of my folks on Friday called in from Tupelo, Mississippi. And I think that's what he said, Tupelo, Mississippi. I know he's called in before. And he said, Tim Black, what about the Arbery case? The hearing is going on, and I haven't heard you give updates on it yet. Could you give updates? And he wasn't pressing me like, you got to do this, Tim Black. This is like, Tim, I really value what value your coverage and your perspective on these issues. Let me know what's going on with the Arbery case. So I'm going to do that tonight. Give it up for that caller with a suggestion, because it's a great suggestion. That's right. So all those most of us will remember Ahmaud Arbery. He's a young man in Georgia who was out for a jog. He was eventually shot by ex-law enforcement officer. I don't know how ex he was. Gregory McMichael and Travis McMichael, and also William Roddy Brown. As he was going through a neighborhood, they tracked him down. They got their pickup trucks and chased him. And he run away, and they chased him some more. He run another way. This went on for several minutes until they finally cornered him, and he tried to run away again, and it got into a fight, him trying to get away from them, and he was shot 3 times. So right now, the actual trial is not going to be until, I think it's October 18th is when the real trial begins. What they're now having is called the pretrial hearings. And that's when they determine what evidence will be initiated in the court, what evidence will be allowed on the prosecution side, on the state side, and on the defense. So that's what's ongoing. Part of what's being asked now, guys, is very interesting. because there was a picture of Ahmaud Arbery. Arbery, actually. There you go. Ever since Ahmaud Arbery was shot 3 times at close range, there's been this ongoing conversation about what was the state of mind of the people that did it. Was this a hate crime? And one important thing I took from diving into the pretrial admissible content of what the arguments are, there's a couple of bits of news, bits of information that could totally sway this whole thing, guys. Okay, so the father, Gregory McMichael, they made a number of phone calls from the jail, okay? A number of phone calls that are very, very much could be damaging to a defense, okay? Horrible, horrible comments, things that were said. And look, here's the thing, guys. They're on the phone and making these comments, and the defense, the prosecutor states want to use it because one of the comments was, no good deed goes unpunished. No good deed goes unpunished. And then a series of laughter between Gregory McMichael and whoever he was talking with on the phone. This information has already been used in order to deny bond, because the prosecution contends this goes to show that McMichael has no remorse for his actions. In fact, he finds it funny that he's incarcerated. And he thinks killing Ahmaud Arbery was a good deed. It was a good deed to have your son, his son is actually who fired the shots, shoot an unarmed man 3 times who was trying to run away from you. So of course, the defense doesn't want to allow this information in. For some reason, it appears that the defense contends that Mr. McMichael had no idea that this could be used against him. Even though the recording on the phone line when you're in jail, when you pick up the phone and use it before it connects you to your call, what does it say, guys? It says, any information obtained on this phone call can be used against you. You get the message every time you make a phone call. Every time you pick up the phone and call someone, every time someone calls you, the same message plays for both parties. Any communication on this phone can be used against you in court. So how could you say it's protected when it's already been noted that, hey, this can be used against you? So that's a flimsy excuse. On the defense side, what they want to do is they want to bring into question the mental state or the mental condition of Ahmaud Arbery. They said Ahmaud Arbery had some psychological mental health records, some mental health difficulties over the last couple of years before his death, before his killing. Because he didn't just die. He died because he was killed. It was a homicide. So they want to bring in those records and say, this leads to what happened, because if he had been in great mental health, maybe they wouldn't have had to kill him. I guess that's the argument. If Ahmaud Arbery would have been more mentally fit, then they wouldn't have had to kill him that day. Maybe then these unlicensed, uncertified, law-breaking rednecks wouldn't have had to take his life, because he would have listened to them better. I don't even understand what their argument is, but as a defense attorney, I guess he must throw everything against the wall that he can to defend his murderous customers? Clients. That's what they are, clients. Okay, so the other thing they're trying to do is they're trying to bring in previous run-ins with the law that Ahmaud Arbery had. Now, of course, the prosecution's like, what good is this? This is not germane to the conversation. It's not germane to what happened that day. Now, and looking at different legal points of view on this, let's say the McMichaels knew Ahmaud Arbery, and they knew that he had a prior conviction for petty theft, or he had a prior incident or something about fighting or something like that. If they knew that going in, that may lead to the reason why they felt they had to arm themselves. The problem with their wanting to put this information into the record to say, I'm going to use this in determining if this was cold-blooded murder or just murder, however you want to look at it, They have to prove that they had knowledge of this information. I found nothing in the notes that shows that the McMichaels had any idea, anything about Ahmaud Arbery other than he was a black young man. And that he'd walked past this construction site that had 2x4s in it that wasn't fully built. And they thought he must be stealing wood or something from this place they didn't even own. So I don't see how that can be admissible. I guess we're going to determine somewhere throughout this if the judge leans towards allowing testimony or allowing old records of Ahmaud Arbery into the current trial. I guess it'll let us know which way the judge is leaning, but I can't see a judge really allowing this stuff. Also, very extraordinary, guys. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations, an agent by the name of Richard Dial, he testified that Travis McMichael, that's the killer who shot Ahmaud Arbery, the son, after shooting Ahmaud Arbery 3 times, killing him, he uttered a racial slur while standing over Ahmaud Arbery's body while it lay in the street, bleeding out. He looked down at Ahmaud, dying, and said a racial slur. If that is allowed in, of course, Travis denies this, right? If that's allowed in, that would take this to hate crime level. That would further. I don't see. I look at it as an open shut case to begin with, but I would see this as going even less chance of any type of outcome is positive for the defense. So we got that. We have also a lot of the folks on the conservative websites love to focus on Ahmaud Arbery's past, running with the law, or a altercation, or something about he took a TV from Walmart a couple years ago or something, as if that has anything to do with this at all. They leave out the fact that McMichaels, Roddy Brown, both the McMichaels and Roddy Brown have post text messages where they use the N-word in them in referring to black people. And other derogatory terms were used about black people. Racial slurs about black people were found in their text messages and in their social media. So I don't know, man. Is the judge going to let any of this stuff in at all? Or is the judge going to say, okay, let's just clean the slates. We start with the day this happened, because we can go tit for tat. You want to bring in the TV from Walmart and the fact that Ahmaud Arbery is on probation? Fine, we'll bring in your text messages where you call black people the N-word. Now, we already know Ahmaud Arbery was not stealing anything from that construction site. There was nothing there, and he had nothing in his possession. But we also know, so he's clear. He didn't commit a crime that day. Who committed a crime that day? We think we know who that was. I think that's very clear who committed that crime. So, folks, as we go through the process, the legals, as it winds its way through the legal system, I will be updating you to this story, letting you know each step of the way how we go. We look forward to a conviction in this case. It looks very obvious. I mean, if you look at the evidence, they chased this man. He was not a threat to them. He was running for his life. He was on foot. They were in vehicles. And they lynched him. What else do you call 3 white guys in pickup trucks chasing a black man, running for his life, trying to get out of town, trying to get out of this neighborhood? What else could you call that? Shot 3 times in the middle of the street. And then someone stands over you and uses the N-word. I mean, what other... So I know with Sean Hannity and those types of folks, and the Tucker Carlsons, and also the self-hating black folks who are going to try to diminish this. But what else would you call it? What term would you like to use? I mean, if this is not a lynching, I don't know what is. It's horrific. It's an open shut. I mean, at least, well, not at least. How can I say this? These aren't even cops. No one's given him any authority to do anything to anyone ever. Other than someone breaking into their homes and then putting them in threat of, safety threat or what have you, they had no right to chase someone. They're supposed to call the cops. These are private citizens grabbing guns and chasing people and killing them. None of these guys should ever see. If they get sent a photo of the sun, that would be too much for them. If someone sent them a jar of air, fresh air, that would be too much air for them. You understand what I'm saying? They should never get to see sun or breathe fresh air ever again. That's how rock solid I feel this case is. I'm Tim Black. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter for updates. And Real Tim Black. Wow, that started off kind of hot. I need to shorten the segments. Like 5 minutes is all the time people want. I got videos. I got segments that are 15, 20 minutes long. Way too long, Johnson. Tim Black needs to use less words. We've been looking at a lot of things Tim Black needs to do now. Gotta make changes, Johnson. Gotta make changes. Before we get to the next one, still lynching. Sing it, Tim. You got it, Violet. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, Tim Black's Wolfpack in the Green. Good up for my Wolfpack members in the Green. My people, my Wolfpack members on Patreon, my Wolfpack members, all my Johnsons on Facebook as well. I love you for it. Thank you so much. I won't bore you to death by talking about Andrew Yang and my history with Andrew Yang. Every time I cover Andrew Yang, I notice I go through this rigmarole that no one cares about. Here's the thing. Andrew Yang was the front runner for the New York City mayor. Against all odds. This small business entrepreneur who has skyrocketed to the top of viewership or a notoriety due to his proximity and him being on the world stage running for the 2020 Democratic primary. Andrew Yang he was killing it. And then it happened. Andrew Yang happened. I contend that Andrew Yang happened. And yes, I know he made some comments about Palestinians that seemed inhumane, coarse, malevolent, lacking of empathy, just pandering. I know he did that. Folks, for more, so I understand that. I understand he did that. But look, here's the thing. This comment here, and everyone wants to point to, get out of here, Ma, these killer guys. I'm standing with the people of Israel who are coming under bombardment attacks and condemn the Hamas terrorists. The people of NYC will always stand with our brothers and sisters in Israel who face down terrorism. Okay, so he received a lot of backlash from that. We're all well aware of it. We saw AOC go after him. Utterly shameful for Yang to try to show up to an Eid event after sending out a chest-thumping statement of support for a strike killing 9 children, especially after his silence as Al-Qaeda was attacked. But then to try that in Astoria during Ramadan, they will let you know. So yes, we know about that. And as a result of all of this, Andrew Yang plummets. Eric Adams leads now in a new Democratic mayoral poll. Okay, so these are all kind of like surface stuff at this point. We get it. Yang got in Yang's way. Yang made comments he didn't need to make them. He tweeted things. But here's the real deal behind all of this. It's bigger. It is bigger than just one tweet. What's happening to Andrew Yang is that Andrew Yang doesn't really stand for anything. And it's starting to hurt him. He stands for one thing and then he backs off of it. He takes another standpoint and then he backs off of that standpoint. Then he backs off the standpoint and he backed off the standpoint. And the next thing you know, he's just in a circle. He's doing so much triangulation that he's making an octagon. This is horrific what's going on. Take public schools. He was blaming, Yang said in March that the United Federation of Teachers has been a significant reason why our schools have been slow to open. That's a very hard statement to make. That's a tough call. He's saying, hey, it's not the coronavirus, it's not the governors, it's not the mayors, it's not the CDC, it's not Fauci, it's not none of these things. It's the United Federation of Teachers. They're the reason why we haven't opened up all the schools. The UFT has long been the sole reason why kids are stuck at home. But then after what's called a productive conversation with UFT head Michael Mulgrew, Yang frantically reversed, feel like a gazelle confronted by a hyena. Yang said at a union-sponsored event, it was conveyed to me that there's been a failure of leadership on part of the mayor. And I agree that the mayor has failed the teachers and public school parents in not reopening the schools. So here's the thing, guys. When you make a statement, when you come out and you're bold, you say, hey, these people are the bad guys. And then when you sit down with the bad guys and you go to their event and they shame you and you change your whole course, your whole tone, not only you reverse who you said the bad guys were. Even people that supported your decision and said, hey, we agree the teachers union is moving too slow. Now they're like, what the hell? I thought we had a guy. I thought that was our guy. And you do the opposite now. And yes, some of the people that felt that Bill de Blasio is the problem, maybe they felt that way to begin with, but now they're like, yeah, now you're going to have our backs. Now this is what now you got us? Okay, we're glad you take our side, but I don't know about this guy yet. So that it doesn't stop there. Once again, with the Israeli-Palestinian crisis, if that's what you want to call it, I shouldn't call it slaughter, but okay. He made a statement about Hamas defending Israel. We always stand with Israel. That's what we do. We do that. No matter what's going on, we stand with Israel. Well, boom. Yang apologizes for a pro-Israel tweet after criticism from the left. According to New York Post, all it took for Yang to turn tail were a few tweets from rabidly anti-Israel types like AOC. Yang totally went the other way. He says, hey, I was being overly simplistic. And that his critics were correct in saying he didn't acknowledge the pain and suffering on both sides. So once again, it's not only that people disagree with Yang. Of course, people are going to disagree with you. But it's the fact that once he takes a stand, he backs off the stand to the point people don't know where he stands. Does this guy have legs or not? But hold on, there's more. There's something about bus routes. Big deal in New York, okay? Bus lanes, I think it is, okay? And I'm trying to get up to speed on this, so bear with me for a second. Considering the 180 he recently pulled on bus lanes, Yang long endorsed creating dedicated paths and even entire streets to speed up the lumbering, snail-paced conveyances. His campaign website states a top priority will include building the bus rapid transit throughout the city. The 14th Street Bestway is a great example of what we can accomplish. So he puts on this website, we're going to do these bus lanes. New York needs to New Yorkers want to move faster. We need bus lanes. We need to open it up. We need to make a commute more easy for our New Yorkers. This is a travesty. I stand for that. Go to my website. That's what I am. I'm the guy that's going to help you get to work and ease congestion. In March, bus lane advocates were flabbergasted when he said he'd be open to re-examining the new Flushing, Queens busway, which runs from Northern Boulevard to Sanford Avenue. He pulled a 180 on this idea. All the people that were like, oh, great, we got Andrew Yang, this guy's going to do something about buses. He turns and goes the other way and says, well, I'm not really sure about it. I'll talk to some people and I'll get back to you. Oh, whoa, I didn't say I was married to it. Get what I'm saying? Andrew Yang can't be trusted because he's the water that Bruce Lee spoke about in the glass that takes any form. And that's great for dealing with issues and be able to readjust. But it's not so great, bruh, when you're running a political campaign and people want to rely on you. Hey, even if you're wrong, Yang, sometimes you got to stay wrong. I mean, even if people disagree with you, you got to go with what you believe. At least sometimes. How could you be on both sides of every issue? You can't. So you come across as not just being someone they need to influence, you come across as someone who really has no core, no backbone, no firm stance. I think part of the problem, and this is just me waxing poetic, I think Yang wants to be liked more than he wants to be Yang. And it's been working for him because a lot of people like Andrew Yang. He seems like a happy-go-lucky, nice guy. But how nice is a guy who says he has your back, and then when it's time to have your back, he ain't got your back? In fact, he's the opposite of having your back. Now he's against your back. He got a knife at your back. That's how Yang comes across based on 3 different situations. Now, I'm not in New York. I don't know exactly what's going on with every candidate. I'm not saying that he's not, still in the running. He is still in the running. I mean, I'm looking at the polls. But here's the thing. Yang was riding high at 32%. He was crushing it. Now that's been cut in half to less than 16 points. Adams is taking his place at 18%. There is a guy running, I forget his name, Stringer is his name. He's accused of sexual harassment. He's lost endorsements, and even he is right there with Yang now. He shouldn't even be in the race. And he's like right there with Yang. Yang has dropped from number 1 to number 3. It's embarrassing. People have said, Tim, there's a Diane Morales. I think that's her name. Who's a progressive. She's not getting, the type of notoriety that she deserves or she should be getting. Diane Morales, that's it, garnered 6% support. Former Obama official Sean Donovan, 5%. Retired Citigroup executive Ray McGuire. City Hall, legal counsel, Maya Wiley with 4%. Art Cheng at 2%. So, it's still a very close race. I'm not saying that Yang has no opportunity to pull this out. But what I'm saying is, things that drop tend to keep dropping. It would take some stumbling. It would take some stumbling on behalf of Eric Adams for Yang to catch back up. And the worst thing about it is, Eric Adams has basically the same stances on most of these things. It's just that Eric Adams is more like, I don't care what people think. This is what I think, and I'm going to say it this way. And I'm not moving from this circle. So he's been able to maintain his following by not flip-flopping. Adams feels the same way. He was also tweeting stuff about support of Israel. He didn't say anything about Palestinians deserving to live or keep their homes or not be bombed. Nothing. Adams and Yang share the same politics on these issues. But it's Yang who's flip-flopped on it, giving Adams all types of the go-ahead. So, there it is. I'll update you to this story as we get further along, and I'll let you know what's happening because, it's just not smart. It's just not smart. It's not wise. It's not wise. Next story. I covered this last week. I kind of didn't want to have to cover it again because I think this person is nothing more than Donald Trump in a dress, with less brains, actually. Just more crude, less creative. And I know you're like, what? How could that ever happen? Who the hell? Marjorie Taylor Greene, folks. This person, I see no redeeming qualities to her. So we covered her where she was, during the whole AOC, we need to debate. AOC, we need to debate. Debate me, you dummy. Debate me. You don't know anything about economics. Debate me. So, which is just, lame attempt to get notoriety, just to expand their brand. We know what that is. So some footage was released over the weekend. I think it was Friday it came out, actually. Turns out Marjorie Taylor's been saying the same garbage for years. Going up to the Capitol, for a couple years at least, since AOC got to Congress. Anyway, here goes some footage of Marjorie Taylor Greene being Marjorie Taylor Greene at AOC's office. Fun times.
Surfaced today. Video from 2019 surfaced today showing Greene addressing Ocasio-Cortez through her door.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I'm an American citizen. I pay your salary through the taxes that you collect from me through the IRS. I'm a woman, I'm a female business owner, and I'm proud to be an American woman. And I do not support your socialist policies. If you want to be a big girl, you need to get rid of your diaper and come out and be able to talk to the American citizens instead of us having to use a little flap.
Well, when asked about her most recent actions today, Greene said she'd been attacked by Democrats several times and blamed them for being kicked off multiple committees.
Yeah. So this whole thing where she plays to be the victim, it appears that Marjorie Taylor had seen a lane for her to take, which was to be the counter to AOC, which is how a lot of this garbage happens, actually. It's a ploy in the media game where you pretend that I'm going to be the opposite. I'm going to be the yin to the yang to AOC. So, yeah, I'll ride that, and let's see if I can get some coverage by being the anti-AOC. Because, that's all I got. And, she lost her committee appointments not just because of AOC. Look, that's not why. She lost them because she's an idiot. She lost them because she's a QAnon, harassing people on Capitol Hill, jumping in people's faces, being a complete moron. That's why she lost her committee appointments. So now she has no time. She has all the time and nothing to do. How does she stay in office? Anybody should be able to replace her at this point. She's not doing anything. How can she represent people if she's not on committees? Would you think Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to write legislation alone? Is that what you think? That's what you said. Anyway, what I found hilarious was AOC's responses. Now, I hadn't seen AOC's response. I read a response. It was sort of like, AOC said something like, I'm used to dealing with people, loud, drunk people, had to throw them out of the bars or something. Here goes AOC's words directly related to Marjorie Taylor Greene and the harassment that she's received.
That interaction with Marjorie Taylor Greene, here's what she said.
This is a woman that's deeply unwell and clearly needs some help. And her kind of fixation has lasted for several years now. It's at this point, I think, the depth of that unwellness has raised concerns for other members as well. And so, I think that this is an assessment that needs to be made by the proper professionals. She said
I'm sorry. AOC saying this lady needs therapy. That's what she's saying. And she's trying to awful, man. She's deeply unwell. Do tell, AOC, are you saying that this person thinks they're entitled to things that they're not entitled to? Like someone with have in their mind that they're more important or they're more germane to the conversation, or that they should be able to distract you from all your work. Your fixation should be their opinions of you. Damn, that seems very similar to some things. I've seen people do that online where all of a sudden they want what's ever going in their head to be your reality. That's what she's saying. It is a sign of someone that's unwell, in need of therapy. And I'm real talk here. There are people that need therapy, and other people enable them and support them. There are people supporting Marjorie Taylor Greene's antics, and their obvious lack of being grounded in reality. No one's avoiding you because you're intelligent. They're avoiding you because you're a nuisance. You're a troll. You are a troll. It doesn't matter if a couple of kooky people go with you. They like you. You're still a troll. Go be productive. Go forth and do whatever you're doing. You're not an employee. You don't work for AOC. You're not owed anything from AOC. She doesn't owe you a debate. She doesn't owe you a conversation. She doesn't owe you an explanation. It's not illegal not to talk to you. It's not illegal to want you to leave us the hell alone. What will be illegal is if she gets a restraining order on you and you break the restraining order by attempting to contact her further. That would be illegal. I just saw things flashing in my head there. It's back my experience online with people. They can't just leave. You just can't. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now here's the kick in the gut. Yeah. Here's the kick in the gut, guys. Marjorie Taylor Greene is being under investigation now for filing homestead exemptions on 2 homes. She's under investigation. I'm not making this up. I wouldn't lie to you. Listen, Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene and her husband are under investigation for allegedly filing tax exemptions for 2 separate homes in different counties, which is a violation of Georgia law. WSB-TV reported that 2020 Georgia state tax records unearthed by investigative reporter Justin Gray revealed the couple were receiving a large tax break on their homes. A homestead exemption provides up to $2,000 exemption from county and school taxes, according to Newsweek. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the woman who's also a female, you want to make sure you know that. She's a woman who's also a female. Not like these trans women who are women who are not female. Just throw a little bit of bigotry in there. I'm a woman who's a female, who's an American woman. I don't know if people caught that. And then she went on to say that she's a tax-paying citizen. I'm a tax-paying citizen. Apparently not. Apparently not, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You cheated on your taxes. And I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but when the same day the tape comes out, you grandstanding at AOC's office, talking through the flap about how you're a tax-paying citizen, meaning you pay people's salary, so they got to listen to you. First of all, we all pay the salaries, not just you, lady. You pay a quarter of one. You're like Dogecoin when it first came out. It's like 7 decimal points behind the zero. That's how much of your money goes to AOC personally. Okay? So, and look, man, I'm not here to defend. I'm not defending AOC. But Marjorie Taylor Greene's horrible. We got to admit, this woman does not deserve a claim for this. This is not, no. She doesn't deserve a claim. So we cannot align ourselves with Marjorie Taylor Greene because we think AOC needs to go harder in the paint. No, I won't do that. I refuse to do it. Any issues I have with AOC, I will address her, and I will call those out. I will cover those. Or any newsworthy items. Not just, if I have an issue, newsworthy items, I will cover them. But I'm also going to cover morons like Marjorie Taylor Greene who have no redemptive quality, no redemptive value, that hit the news cycle as well, who are trying to make a name off using someone else's name. It's just very annoying, you know? From QAnon to annoying on, you know? And remember, all the bad things I say about Marjorie Taylor Greene, all based in fact, all based on her actions, she was still elected to that position. She did not elect herself. The people of Georgia voted for her. Now, ain't that some apples? I'm going to have to edit that down, man. It's just too long-winded, man. For like videos on YouTube need to be 5-6 minutes tops. This is really important. People look at my videos and go, oh, God, I don't have all week, Johnson. I love you, Tim, but Jesus Christ, man. Could we speed it up? Joe Rogan. Look, this could be let's just get to it. Okay, Joe Rogan made amazing podcasts, lots of viewers, people know who he is, all over the globe. They know, not all over the globe, but very popular, very successful. We all know this stuff, right? What is he talking about now? I see him trending on Twitter, and I'm like, okay. Oh, God, it's Daily Caller? Oh, God, ugh. Daily Caller. What do the Daily Caller people want? Like, I don't take anything from Daily Caller seriously. And then it says here, Joe Rogan says giving into the woke mob will result in straight white men not being allowed to talk. I said, what the hell? Oh, nah, Johnson, come on, man. You gotta be kidding me, man. So then I went to the website. I looked at the video. It's a clip. He said it. He said, doing an interview with Joe List, the legendary podcast host, was talking about the whole cancel culture, mental consuming our country, caution people about the consequences of giving into it. He says, if you agree to all these demands, it'll eventually get to straight white men are not allowed to talk. He went on to say, we're living in crazy times. You can watch, okay. So anyway, and then we need to use more empathy and be nicer to one another. And then it kind of trailed off or whatever. Here's the thing, man. Joe Rogan must be trolling, right? Because white guys do pretty much what they want to do in this country. Single white guys, straight white men. Straight white men. You say straight white men won't be able to talk. About everyone else, not always. Like straight white men have had a nice run, Joe. Straight white men have had the run of, in America, straight white men have had a run for centuries. N-word, pick that up. Whack. Put it down. Whack. I said pick it up. Whack. Straight white men have been running it. Come here, you whatever, you're brown person, you're yellow, brown, whatever you not white person, non-white person, do my bidding, Jump off something tall, land on something hard, get up and do it again. Straight white men have had their run of industry and privilege and just the run of even the goofy, uneducated, slack-jawed, moron straight white guy has been killing it. Do you realize that a high school dropout, the average white high school dropout, makes about the same as the average black college graduate, or has the same amount of wealth? Yes, it has the same amount of wealth. You realize that? Because even that moron, slack-jawed, loser, meth user, abuser, beat his kids, I don't know, all the bad things you can think. Just attribute as many bad things as possible to that straight white guy. Maybe his grandparents were killing it. They left him a house and cars and jewelry and some land down south. So he could be a complete loser, but he's left a fortune. Or at least $50,000 worth of stuff. Baseball cards, something, some plates, I don't know. Get what I'm saying? Timeshare, I don't know, something. But the black guy's got nothing. Joe Rogan, you make no sense. And we're not even talking about black women and compare it to straight white guys. and Latino. We're not even going to talk about indigenous people. Joe. That's why I say, man, the trolling. And I've been called a troll because I get people pissed off. Even this video can be considered trolling because it's like throwing, grape juice and, I don't know, hot sauce and grape juice in the womb. I don't know. Coming at you with razor blades and lemon juice. Oh. Because that's the truth. The truth stings, man. Pickle juice. But I'm thinking that Joe Rogan is trolling, man, because he has to know better than this. Come on, guy. The only way that white guys are going to come on the short stick of this is if other white guys are getting paid. That's what you need to know. The reason, the same guys, hold on a second, the same guys that you say are going to lose their ability to be able to talk, those are the same guys getting paid off this. That's why it's happening, Joe. You really don't think feminists run the country, do you? Only if a white guy hires them. What is wrong, Joe? You know the Joe. You have to know. Come on, Joe. You know. You really think some pissed off black people run the country? We couldn't even get Kaepernick a job. What are you talking about? All our bitches that complaining won't even get Kaepernick a job before pick a this other guy. This guy who played baseball wasn't even a good baseball player. Come on, man. How much power do we have? None, Joe. Just face it, Joe. The people that you're mad at are yourself. That's who you're mad at, man. So come on, man. Get in here. Come on. Hug it up, bitch. Come on. Stop faking the funk for views, man. And he's already immensely successful. If I woke up tomorrow and had a tenth of the viewership that Joe Rogan has, man, I don't know what I don't know what I do. Me and Mrs. Black would go to Hawaii for the week at some point because we've never been out of the country. Well, Hawaii's in the country, but it's really a nice part of the country. You get my point. We do something fun that we've never been able to do, like get on a plane together. Just the 10th. Hell, the 20th. All right. Next story, last story. I'm going to have to create a segment called What's Wrong with People? Yeah, what's wrong with people, man? What the hell is wrong with people? Folks, I don't know what's wrong with us. Something's wrong with people. People have problems. Some people are begging for it. They're asking for it. Here goes a clip now. This clip does contain graphic imagery. You may not want to see it. It's stupid. It's hilarious, but it is graphic. I want to tell you that now. So if you don't want to watch it, please don't report the channel. I got it off of the internet. There's no death, there's no gore, but it is disgusting. Unless you're a single white man, then you might enjoy it.
Are you going to be in jail?
I really. Oh my god!
Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
Heck! I got no video! Taser! Ah! She got tased!
One more time.
Are you going to be in jail?
I really. Oh my god!
Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
Heck! I got no video! Taser! Ah! She got tased!
All right. I saw this. I showed this to Mrs. Black. We just laughed. And Mrs. Black's reaction to this was exactly my reaction. At least she didn't shoot her in the ass. You know, that's sad. We can't even enjoy a video. I rubbed off on my wife so much that she said exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's the takeaway. The white lady moons the other girls, whoever's filming, and the officer, which is against the law. That's indecent exposure or something. And so she starts running, and for some reason, the officer knew exactly where her taser was. She didn't accidentally pull her gun out and shoot her 5 times in the back or nothing. She pulled the appropriate device. She knew left from right, pulled it, shot it once. I think that's all you could shoot him is one time. And that was it. And then you go to jail. That's it. But folks, I gotta say, man, I gotta ask, what's wrong with people? You're being filmed. There's an officer there. You're not fast. You're not very spry. I've seen footage of some folks running from the cops. They were quick. This lady, not so quick. Was she wearing underwear? It didn't appear that she was wearing underwear either. How could you be slow and without underwear on? That just gives you at least a little bit more speed and a little bit more takeoff speed, I would think. A little bit, cut down on the wind resistance. None of that happened for her. She was slow. She ran like a Karen. Slow and annoying. She even fell annoyingly. Anyway, I just thought I would share that with you. I don't know what happened. I'm assuming she went to jail. I'm assuming she won't go to jail for long. It's a ticket, Johnson. But I guess maybe running from the cops makes it a little bit more serious. It's still a misdemeanor, I think. I think it is. That's it. All right, guys. Tomorrow, we pick this show back up. Same bad channel, same bad time. Hopefully earlier tomorrow. Phone lines will be open tomorrow. People get to call into the show. Please call in with ideas, stories that I may have missed, things you want to be talked about, things that you want to express, news that you've seen that you want to share with the crew, maybe some personal stories. I don't know. It's an open phone line. We're doing the good work. Don't forget, go to NinaTurner.com. NinaTurner.com. Support her. Canvas, text, phone bank, do it all. Become a part of it. If you can donate. Let's do it. Let's get Nina Turner, to Washington, D.C. I think that's all I got. I think that's enough. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's go to the comment section and see what we got. What a night, Johnson. What a night. Yang doesn't even support UBI anymore. Now it means tested. Now it means tested BI. Why am I not surprised? When I said the guy was like, he seemed like he just didn't give a damn. Like he was just saying stuff. People are like, no, it's not true. It's not true. Him good guy. Okay. Shelty, thank you. Kid M says, Kid M supports the show. Tony DeMaio says, I want Morales to win in New York. I've heard that. I've heard positive things about Morales. It would take so much, man. And frankly, I hadn't heard of Miss Morales until just very recently, like days ago, okay, about her policy. And I think it was on a Freedom Friday show, someone let me know that she's very progressive. So that's very interesting, Tony. And look, man, I appreciate the information about Diane Morales. But that's it, guys. That's all I got, man. I wish I had more, but I think it's been a good night. Get in, get out. Make those clips small and keep the party going. Be here tomorrow. We'll do this all over again. But then we'll have you helping out. How about that? All right, guys. Find me at Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Tim Black and that on Instagram. Go to jointimblack.com if you enjoy this content. If you want to see it continue. If, unlike... if you prefer for it not to go away, if you want to see it expand, join the Wolfpack. Join the Johnsons. Be a part of it. We're a growing community, and we love to have you be a part of it. That's it. I'm in. I'm out. I'm gone. I love you. I'll see you soon, Wolfpack. Peace. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe. Don't forget, this show is brought to you by Above the Law. How qualified immunity protects violent police. Stories about qualified immunity and why we need to get rid of it. Why it must be abolished. This book is a good book. Ben Cohen, co-founder of Ben & Jerry's, Michael Render, a.k.a. Killer Mike, wrote the foreword. Become an End Qualified Immunity level Patreon of The Tim Black Show and get a free book.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.